Rebecca who suggested we all go to the showgrounds to hang out in the shade of the Moreton Bay figs. She picked up her school bag and headed off without looking back to see if anyone followed. The showgrounds were a short walk from school, along a concrete path beside the Devon River and across the railway line. We filed through the granite pillars and quickly settled under the row of giant trees. The boys organised themselves to play cricket. Andy Knightley propped up his school bag to be the wicket, and someone produced a bat and ball. I perched on a concrete bench with Rachel Cooper and Andrea Goodman to watch them play. Rebecca sat away from us, her head bowed to a book she held against her chest. None of her friends caught our bus, and it had been a long time since she'd bothered with any of us, including me. That wasn't always the case. Rebecca and I had been close for most of our lives. She changed when she started thinking of herself as grown-up and me still as a kid. By the time she turned 17, the 3-year age gap between us somehow seemed much greater. As if Rebecca felt me looking at her, she raised her head and for a moment we held each other's gaze. Nothing in particular was communicated between us. Perhaps a silent acknowledgement that we were there together in the shade, and that night we'd sleep under the same roof with our long history as sisters ahead of us. When Rebecca turned back to her book, sunlight filtering through the branches caught her auburn hair, and I noticed again how similar she looked to our mother. That's what was always said in our family, that she took after Mum and I took after Dad. I turned away from Rebecca when the boys started arguing whether Sean Taylor had been caught out or the ball was dropped. The smell of cigarettes wafted from behind the toilets. In the mid-distance, a bearded man and his black dog wandered across the exhibition ring towards the pavilion, where every year one of Mum's decorated wedding cakes was displayed at the show. I was hungry and thought of the fish and chips I'd eat later at Mary Hill's local shop, where I worked 3 times a week. Warm air touched my skin, and in that moment, I remember being happy. Then, through the showground's granite pillars, dust rose behind a yellow Volvo. There was no mistake. It was our mother's car, because we were the only family in the district to own one in that egg yolk colour. She was driving fast towards us, and I didn't understand how she knew we were there. I felt uneasy. Out of the car, she slammed the door and strode towards Rebecca. Our mother's nostrils flared, and her mouth was open as if trying to take more air into her heaving lungs. The cricket game stopped. All the kids became still, staring. Everyone knew our mother, Diane Bundy. Not only because she baked and decorated all the wedding cakes for the local brides, but because she was beautiful and glamorous. That's what we all saw when she zeroed in on Rebecca. Even in rage, it was possible to see how striking she was, in a sleeveless white and yellow polka dot dress and white patent leather sandals, her thick auburn hair tied up high on her head and kept in place with a green scarf. I felt afraid and wished Dad was there because he knew how to handle Mum and Rebecca. At home, they fought constantly. A few days earlier, they'd argued when Rebecca said she'd like to go to Queensland with her best friend, Jasmine Vasilakis, for the Christmas holidays. I didn't think she was serious, just talking out loud about an idea. But Mum shouted at her, told her she was forbidden. Rebecca yelled back, saying she was 17 and could do what she liked. The arguing only stopped when Dad came inside. Rebecca closed the book, then stood and put her shoulders back, as if bracing for whatever was coming from Mum. "You stole money from my purse," Mum said, stabbing the air in front of Rebecca's face. $175 is missing. The cash payment from Lauren Reinhardt's wedding cake is gone. It was in my purse last night. "I don't know what you're talking about," Rebecca said. "Don't you lie to me. Where's the money?" "What is wrong with you?" Rebecca replied, eyes darting to see who was watching. "Get in the car right now."